The judge gave my twin daughters to my billionaire husband. He said a simple mother couldn't provide their privileged life. Right now, they're celebrating my youngest's birthday on his $200 million super yacht. What they don't know is the weapon I've built isn't aimed at their yacht. It's aimed at their entire world. And in exactly 72 hours, I will pull the trigger. But before I starting video, hello everyone. If you're watching this, I need your help. Please like this video and subscribe to the channel. It really helps support our stories. And in the comments, could you tell me which country and state you're watching from? I love seeing how far our stories travel. My name is Dr. Evelyn Reed, but in that sterile, soul-crushing courtroom, I was stripped of that title. I was just the unemployed wife. 5 years ago, I was on top of the world. I wasn't just married to tech billionaire Marcus Kane. I was his secret weapon. While he schmoozed investors, I was in the lab, the architect of Aether, the revolutionary quantum AI that became the core of his empire, Kane Technologies. I designed it, I birthed it. But we agreed I would stay behind the scenes, the silent partner. He was the charismatic face, I was the brilliant brain. Then came the twins, Sophia and Isabella, my sun and my moon. I stepped back further, choosing to nurture their young minds, while Marcus nurtured his global empire. It was a choice I thought we made together. I was so naive. The first crack appeared as a whisper. "Evelyn, you've lost your edge," Marcus would say, his voice slick with false concern. "You're just a mother now. Leave the complex business to me." He started hiring his own team of engineers, phasing me out of Aether's development, citing security concerns and streamlining operations. The final blow came in the form of my own younger sister, Chloe, the sister I'd raised after our parents died, the sister I'd paid for through law school. I found them in his office, a tangle of limbs and betrayal that stole the air from my lungs.
The divorce was not a battle. It was an execution. Marcus had the best lawyers money could buy. They painted me as emotionally fragile, unstable, a woman who had lost touch with reality in her obsession with obsolete scientific work. They presented fabricated medical reports, twisted my dedication to my children into smothering anxiety. My own sister, Chloe, testified against me, her voice dripping with poisoned honey as she spoke of my paranoia and inability to provide a stable, normal environment. The judge, an old friend of Marcus's from his Ivy League days, looked down at me with pitying eyes. "Miss Reed," he said, the gavel hovering, "the court believes the children need the opportunities and stability that Mr. Kane can provide. Custody is granted to the father. You will have supervised visits once a month." The word supervised felt like a physical blow. I was a ghost, erased from my own life. He got our $50 million penthouse, the private jet, the company I built, and most devastatingly, my daughters. For a year, I was a shell. I lived in a tiny studio apartment, the supervised visits of fresh torture each month. My girls, my bright, beautiful girls, started calling Chloe Mommy. They'd talk about their life on the Kane Soul, Marcus's 200-foot super yacht, about the trips to Monaco, the private concerts. They were becoming little strangers, polished and distant. The turning point came during a visit. Sophia, my thoughtful 7-year-old, drew me a picture. It was a family portrait. Marcus, Chloe, her and Isabella. I was nowhere in it. "Daddy says you're sick, Mommy," she said, her little voice full of a confusion that shattered my heart. "He says you need to get better before you can be with us." Sick? I wasn't sick. I was angry. And that anger was a cold, clean fuel. They thought I was a simple mother. They forgot I was the architect of the most advanced AI on the planet. They had the money, the lawyers, the public perception, but I had the source code. Not just of Aether, but of my own intellect. My revenge would not be a knife in the dark. It would be a systemic takeover, a hostile, invisible acquisition of their entire lives. I sold the last thing I owned of value, my grandmother's antique engagement ring. With that $15,000, I rented a server rack in a dusty basement and got to work. I created 3 shell corporations, layered through offshore accounts I knew Marcus couldn't trace. Ouroboros Capital, a fintech hedge fund designed for one purpose, to short Kane Technologies stock. Medusa Media, a digital news aggregator that appeared to be just another clickbait site, but was actually a sophisticated data collection and narrative-building machine. Janus Cybersecurity. This was my masterpiece, a front for the most advanced penetration testing suite ever conceived. Then, I did the unthinkable. I applied for a job. Using a fabricated identity, Alara Smith, a middle-aged IT specialist with a bland resume, I interviewed for a mid-level cybersecurity analyst position at Kane Technologies. My disguise was simple: frumpy clothes, glasses, a slumped posture. I aced their entry-level security tests with just enough skill to be impressive, but not enough to be remarkable. I was hired. For 18 months, I was a ghost in the machine of my own creation. I arrived early, left late, my head down, my persona utterly forgettable. I drank terrible coffee in the break room and listened to the engineers I had once led mock the obsolete original Aether code. Meanwhile, I embedded my own elegant, undetectable malware into the very heart of their network. I had a backdoor into everything: Marcus's emails, his financials, the company's R&D, even the security feeds from the Kane Sol. I watched them live their lavish life, a silent spectator to my own annihilation. I saw Chloe planning her wedding to Marcus on my daughter's birthday. That was the final straw. The countdown began. The day of the birthday party arrived. The Kane Sol was docked in Monaco, swarming with the global elite, celebrities, and the press. The event was being live-streamed across the world. Marcus was to give a speech unveiling the new, improved Aether 2.0 to his guests. I sat in my dark studio, my laptop open, a single command line blinking. It was time. As Marcus took the stage, smiling his brilliant, fraudulent smile, the giant screens behind him flickered. Instead of the Aether 2.0 logo, they displayed a single, stark message. The original architect is now taking control. Then, the real show began. First, the financials. Internal documents, spreadsheets, and emails detailing billions in tax fraud, insider trading, and bribed officials flooded the screens. The live feed cut to news channels where Ouroboros Capital was already fueling the panic, analysts screaming about the stock's instantaneous, catastrophic plunge. Second, the personal betrayal. Every email between Marcus and Chloe from the beginning of their affair, the voice recordings I had extracted of them plotting my character assassination, the fake medical reports with digital fingerprints leading back to the doctors Marcus had paid off. The live footage from the yacht showed pure chaos. The guests were horrified, scrambling. Marcus was screaming at technicians, his face a mask of purple rage. Chloe had her hands over her face, sobbing. Then I accessed the ship's intercom. My voice, my real voice, calm and clear, echoed across the deck, over the global live stream. "Hello, Marcus. Hello, Chloe. You took my company. You took my home. You tried to take my daughters. You told them I was sick. But you made one fatal mistake. You underestimated the mother of your children." I paused, letting the weight of the silence crush them. "My name is Dr. Evelyn Reed. I am the creator of Aether, and as of 9:02 a.m. this morning, through a series of legally sound transactions executed by Ouroboros Capital, I am the majority shareholder of Kane Technologies. You are fired." I then switched to a private channel, the one feeding directly to the tablet devices I had secretly mailed to Sophia and Isabella. On it, I was not a vengeful specter. I was just Mom. My beautiful girls, I said, my voice softening, thick with emotion. Everything you just saw is the truth. I never left you. I never stopped fighting for you. Everything I did for you. To show you that no one gets to write your story and that your mother is not the woman they said I was. I love you. Forever. The fallout was nuclear. Kane Technologies was delisted by the end of the week. Marcus was arrested by Interpol before the Kane soul could even leave the dock. Chloe, exposed and disgraced, checked into a rehab facility. The custody battle that followed lasted 3 days. The evidence I presented was overwhelming. I was not just their mother. I was a stable, brilliant, and formidable provider who had single-handedly toppled a corrupt empire. Today, I run Kane Technologies, which I've renamed AetherCore. Sophia and Isabella sit at the small table in my office, doing their homework. They are healing. We are healing. They thought they could bury me. They didn't realize they were planting a seed in concrete, and that seed, fueled by a mother's love and a genius's wrath, was strong enough to crack a billion-dollar foundation and reclaim the sky. So, my dear family, tell me, was I a villain or a hero? Did I go too far, or was it exactly what they deserved? The comment section is yours. I read every single one. Let me know your verdict. And if this story of rising from the ashes ignited a fire in you, then join our revolution. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell icon. We are a community of survivors. Tell me where you're watching from, your country and your state. Your support is the power behind these stories. Until next time, remember, never ever underestimate the quiet ones.